Sorry if the video angle is a little weird. This was the best I could get it. But this is the math problem, so if my head gets cut off at all, so when I was a kid, I learned how to do simple math and addition by using my fingers, right? That's how most kids learn, two plus another two, use 4 fingers, right? So I wanted to do something a little more visually pleasing for the kids. So I have a group of red cars, orange, yellow, green, and blue. And in my classroom, I don't actually have a classroom either. Like I'm not actively teaching a class, so this is just like future thoughts. I might have each kid in a different color coordinating class. It might help with like group work and stuff like that. And I just have a simple worksheet right here. Also, to you in a minute of just like 1 to 5 questions or 1 to 5 math problems. 2 plus 1, 3 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 3 plus 2, and 1 plus 4. Very simple. If I had more cars, I would have done more complex problems, but these are the cars I got to work with. For example, I probably would have split each kid off into their own group. The blue group gets the blue cars, green, I'm gonna use yellow for now, orange, and so on and so forth, right? And we probably would have started counting with the cars, right? You get, 1 car, 2 car, 3 car, 4 car, and 5 car. And so on and so forth, obviously. So with this math worksheet I worked out, like I said, I will show you in a minute. The very first problem is 2 plus 1. So I would have gone around with each group, we have 1 car and 2 cars, and then we have 1 car, right? So how many cars does that add up to? 1, 2, 3. So they would know 2 plus 1 equals 3. They would fill it in on the answer key and move on. Obviously, if I had more yellow cars, I could have done, 3 plus 3, we didn't have them here, but they don't have 6 cards. Something like that. Something that's, it would be good for more complex problems, but it's also good for simple problems too, for, the younger classes. So moving on, my next problem is 3 plus 1. Like 1, 2, 3, and they have 1 additional car, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and it just basically goes on like that. This could also be good for learning their colors. If it is a younger group, they know that they're in the red group and what the color red looks like and stuff like that. Maybe switch up the groups so they can learn, their different colors. I primarily want to teach 2nd to 3rd grade, so I think by then most kids would have their colors down. But I think it's really just the visual problem of having all the cars out. And I think the most complex one I have on here is probably, 3 plus 1. So, you go 1 car, 2 car, 3 car, 1 car, 2 car. And, they would know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's just something like that, a simple math problem. I obviously would have made it more complex if I had more cars, but this is what I had to work with. Something like that, something that's visually learning for the kids. I tried to choose cars that were primarily the colors so kids weren't getting too confused. I think this could also be good in particularly if you were having kids in the art class. Obviously this is math related, but I already said learning their colors, but maybe mixing the colors together. I'm trying to think of colors to mix, and I've never been good with the color wheel, so I guess that could be a thing for the kids to learn. For example, you could do 2 yellow cars and 2 red cars, make 1 orange car. It could also be good for longer math problems, like word problems. If you have 2 yellow cars, 3 green cars, and your friend has 4 orange cars, how many cars does that add up together? And that's a lot of cars for the kids to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's almost 9 cars that they have led up together. So it could be good for mixing and matching. I also know I have a 3 older brother who is obsessed with cars. It's why I have these cars. So for the kids that don't really focus, maybe it's good for them to have something to focus on, kind of like a reward almost. Getting to play with cars, but also being able to do math problems. So I think overall it's a very good way to obviously simply learn math, but it's also a good way to visualize the problems out loud, because like I said, I've always, my entire life, always used my fingers. And to be completely honest, every once in a while, sometimes I still do. So, you know, this might be good for them to visually learn it in their brain, like see, okay, I have 2 orange cars, you know, something like that. So yeah, so that's my math problem. You know, obviously if I had more cars, I would do more complex problems, but I think it's good for simple problems. Also, like I said, word problems, you know, like those, you know, George has 3 orange cars or Maria has 4 red cars. How many cars is that? You know, so I think it could really work for a lot of different problems, a lot of visual problems. So yeah, anyways, hope you liked my presentation of simple math problems using cars. Also, like, here's the sheet. You know, very, ignore the writing on the back, it's from my other class, but you know, very simple, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So stuff very simple like that. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed.